Hey everybody, JP again, and today we are going to talk about aggressive vocals, a little more aggressive than our last vocal video, but with some similar Terry Date techniques and some Andy Wallace mix techniques as well. This is going to go back to our old favorite, Left Blind. My conscience! It leads me after this! After this! My conscience leads me blind! So the interesting thing about the lead vocal on this track is that it's split onto two tracks. It's sort of a call and response with a little bit of overlap between them. So because they were on two tracks and they were same vocalist, I panned them opposite, which is kind of an Andy Wallace thing to break them off the center. And then they have corresponding delays. It's kind of like what we did with the guitars, where the vocal that's panned just off center has a corresponding PCM 42 on the right, and the vocal that's panned off center to the right has a corresponding 42 to the left. Let's hear some of these. It should be dead. It's up my time. I'm trying to find the place I used to go. Look just fine, but the mood so unkind. So you can hear how there's that subtle back and forth really helps the vocal, enhances that call and response, and having the delay pan slightly opposite kind of fills out that balance. And then we've also got, let's see, we've got the delay feed off 13, and then the delays are feeding the reverb. So the vocals aren't directly feeding the reverb on this. It's similar to the floated vocal that we talked about in the last video, but with this the delays are going to the main mix as well as the reverb send. So it's a little different than that one. Fine, but the mood so unkind. I'm left blind behind a wall of guilt and lies of lies. My conscience. So in this, the reverb just gives a little bit of extra ambience to the delays more than anything else, but the delays are still coming through the main mix. And we have them set, about 230 with a little bit of modulation, and this one's a little longer. This one's like 260 with modulation. And both of these are slamming the input, because why not? Oh, if you're curious about the reverb settings, we're on vocal plate, 1.8 seconds, slight pre-delay, but nothing big there. Really just adds a little space to the vocal delays. It's up my time! I'm trying to find the place I used to go. Look just fine, but the mood so unkind. I'm left blind behind a wall of guilt and lies of lies. My conscience. And actually, in terms of the vocals themselves, I've just got a pretty basic compression on the vocals. I'm using the good old Blue Stripe, the more aggressive model, 4-to-1, moderate attack, pretty fast release on both. And just a touch of Shep 73 for like 2 dB of 3.2K, and then I'm taking out a little bit of 220 and some extreme bottom filtering, but really not much. These vocals, they were for this style of music, they were recorded really well. The real fun are these distortion tracks. First, the SansAmp. Good old Bomb Factory PSA1. Old favorite on vocals. And I mean, there's really no right or wrong way to do this. Just start mangling it until it sounds good. And then this is like the Terry Date rat pedal trick again. So I've got all these, by the way, on aux sense. So they're being blended with the dry vocals. Right now we're only hearing this because it's on a pre-fade send, but in the context of the mix, they're all on aux sends, so they could all be blended with the dry vocals as much as you'd like. And then one more thing is the vocal squash. So this is all 4 buttons in with a fast release. Hear that breath at the end of the vocals? It's like a pumping.
The fast release really brings that out. If you lengthen the release, it's a lot less obvious. But the fast release brings that breathiness up at the ends of phrases. That's another Terry Date thing for super aggressive vocals. You'll hear that on Phil Anselmo and Chino from the Deftones. Especially, actually, Chino's whisper parts are all 4 buttons in with that release super fast, and it really brings out the breathiness. It's like his breaths are almost as loud as his vocals in some of those whisper lines. I wish I had a good whisper vocal, but they're a little tough to come by. But you get the idea, I hope. And for the gang vocals, nothing special on them. The gang vocals are going to the reverb. They're not going to the delay. They are just going to the reverb and our distortion devices. These distorted tracks are all going through the reverb as well. So yeah, lots of fun you could have with aggressive vocals. I mean, right then, just having the SansAmp the Rat and the vocal squash all on at the same time was pretty freaking cool, if you ask me. And just a little bit of reverb to kind of give them a little space in the mix. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this and hope you found some interesting things to add to your palette. Until next time, please like, comment, subscribe, all that great stuff. Later, guys.